take a look at this. Just the first of the stunning new image is the deepest view of the universe ever captured. Some of these distant galaxies have never been seen before.
The image, of course, is the first from the James Webb Space Telescope, and President Biden was on hand for yesterday's big reveal.
These images are going to remind the world that America can do big things, and they remind the American people, especially our children, that there's nothing beyond our capacity, nothing beyond our capacity. We can see possibilities no one has ever seen before. We can go places no one has ever gone before.
So to capture the stunning image, a near-infrared camera on the telescope used different wavelengths of light over the course of almost 13 hours. And I know we're all craving some more pictures of our universe. The rest are going to be released any minute now, and we are waiting with bated breath to see what this telescope discovered, basically. So the James Webb Space Telescope was launched on Christmas Day, if you recall, last year. If the first pictures are any indication of what this will give scientists and space explorers, many gifts, we are going to be certainly excited to see what it is.
And on the way right now, NASA, in this moment, revealing for the first time stunning pictures again from this telescope toward the boundaries of the universe. Images 13 billion light years away from Earth. They're actually now releasing some of these newest photos live, never before seen. So let's enjoy the moment now with some additional insight from someone who has flown several missions into space. Leroy Chow flew 3 space shuttle missions and was an International Space Station commander, where he spent 6 months in space. Good to see you, sir. Thanks for being with us on this cool day. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
So in layman's terms, I'm all about layman's terms, explain why people are loving these pictures and what the importance of this moment is.
Sure. Well, the James Webb Space Telescope is by far the most powerful space telescope ever having been launched and now being operated. The unique thing about it is that, number one, it's positioned quite a distance from the Earth and the Sun, pointing away from both. And so it's able to look into deep space without any interference from the light from the Sun and from the Earth. The mirror is cooled down to a very low temperature using cryogenics, and that enables us to look at what's called the infrared spectrum, which is basically heat. And so we're able to look at these distant objects, like you said, about up to 13 or so billion light years away, in a way we've never done it before, and that's going to tell us a lot.
Yeah, and so we're still waiting for the new images to come, and we're kind of monitoring the live feed right now from NASA and excited to see them. But this telescope cost $10 billion. What you just mentioned, that this will help with research and learning more about our solar system and the universe as a whole. Tell us more about what purpose it'll serve when it comes to space exploration.
Sure. The Space Telescope, of course, was way behind schedule and over expensive, what was expected. But we're seeing the stunning results now. Everything seems to be working flawlessly. It's going to tell us what is going on right at the boundary of our universe. The Big Bang began as a singularity, and now we're looking almost to the edge of where it's expanding. And that light that we're going to be seeing because of this telescope won't actually reach the Earth for another 13 or so billion years. So that'll tell us what's going on out at the edge. Closer to home, we'll be able to look at observations we've made in other exoplanets and solar systems and galaxies, and look at the atmosphere. We'll have more information on the atmosphere of some of these exoplanets. It's going to tell us a whole lot, and as you see, just this image is so clear and so sharp. It's definitely the biggest and most capable space telescope ever.
And we should point out that right now NASA is doing its own kind of live broadcast, kind of building up anticipation for the release of these new photos. There's a live look there at the show. Now, we have not seen the new images just yet. They're kind of teasing us. They're TV pros. They know how to draw it out. So we're waiting for them to do that. So as we keep an eye on that, waiting for those latest images, let me ask you this as well. Obviously, the president himself made it a big deal. Yesterday, he spoke on about these images, and we have kind of a replica behind us here on our screen. What do you see in this picture that everyday folks, civilians, do not see, and why it's either so cool or so important? You have very different eyes than most folks.
Well, first of all, we have to keep in mind what you're seeing there is just a tiny sliver of the sky. That is, the James Webb Telescope is looking at literally just a tiny, tiny piece of the sky. And what it's showing us, sharper than even the Hubble Space Telescope, when it imaged the similar look, the images you're seeing now were blurry. And so it's seeing it much more sharply, and it's seeing it with different wavelengths of light, which is going to give us a lot more information. And what stuns me is just how many galaxies. Each one of those objects is a galaxy. And just think of our own Milky Way galaxy, 230 or some odd million light years across. Each one of those galaxies is similar or maybe even larger than our own galaxy. And it's exciting because, like I said, it's just a sliver of the sky. And what are the chances that there is intelligent life out there? Right? Just think about the entire universe. It's hard to imagine that we could possibly be alone.
Yeah, just looking at each of those tiny dots, an entire galaxy potentially bigger than our own. There has to be other life out there, I'd imagine. But what are you hoping that the images that are revealed later today or any minute now will reveal?
Well, I believe they're going to show some images of kind of what we've been talking about, some objects that are much, much more close to the Earth, maybe some exoplanets, and maybe some information, some preliminary information about the atmospheres of these planets, these exoplanets that we to date have not been able to discern. I don't know if they've gotten that far yet, probably not, but they're probably going to be, I'm sure they're going to be spectacular images, and scientists will be gleaning more information out of them as we go on.
All right. Leroy Chow, retired NASA astronaut and International Space Station commander, really appreciate you being here, and we're very excited to see what we learned today.
Thank you. Great to be with you.